My name is Dyandra and I'm here to be a presenter of this week. So I will answer your questions. Start from Ardia. Do you have any question?
Okay, my question is what is your opinion about the learners when they what your opinion about between input and output? What is more compatible for the student or the learner?
Okay.
Is that more important, something like that?
Okay. So my opinion about input or output, it is for me the comprehensible input is more important than output because it is when the first that we are learn a new language. So we start from by listening or reading the new language. Then we move to the output. So in my opinion, it's like there is if there is no input, there is no output too. Next, Isa. You? Oh, my opinion about the differentiate between input and intake. So the input is like we are experience a new language. Like for example, we watching a Spanish TV show. Like we we listening a new language that we don't understand before it. Now and for intake, like we notice the language, we understand the language, and we acquiring the language. So that's it. And there. Sorry, can you repeat that question? Another example. Ah, in, so for example, input and output in our daily life is like I think when we are watching a K drama, I think like in input we are like we learn like a Korean language. Yes. Yeah, we are listening a new language in Korea, like in Korean language, Hangul. Bread in Korean is pang. Is correct? Yeah, and then at first we don't understand the language. What is pang? What is? We don't understand the word, but after we understanding the language in intake, so we become understand the language. And in example for output, and for example we talk to a friend like, do you know that in Korean bread is called pang, like that. So yes, Isa.
It's the same case about input and acquisition or acquire the language.
Sorry.
It's the same case about between input and acquisition acquire the language,
So hello guys, my name is Dyandra and I'm here to answer your question. So start from oh
What do you know about this matrix?
for me for this week topic, like input, intake, and output is like we are how we learn a new language. Like input is for we are like learning a new language by hearing, by listening the language and reading the language. For intake is like the part of input that we include in the grammar building. So intake is like is the part of input that we use to learn a new language. Like we understand, like the first, like we notice the language, and then we understanding the language, and we acquiring the language. And last, the output is like we testing the language. Next.
Do you think that input, intake, and also output relate to each other?
For me is yes. For me is the more important in like input, intake and output in SLA is the most important is input. For me, it is no. It's like when there is no output, there is no, like, input for me is really important, like, so it's really related to each other because for input we understand, we hear the language first, and then we acquire the language in intake, and then we practice the language in our daily life, so it's like output. So yeah. Randy?
Do you ever find that input, intake, and output your learning process of language?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Did you ever apply that method, that intake, input, and output when you learn
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, I use that too in daily life. Like for example, when I am watching a Korean drama, and like input. At first, I don't know the Hangul or Korean language at first, like, and then I keep listening a word like pang. So pang. So and then I more to ini no. I noticed the language and then understand it that oh, pang in Korean in English is bread, and then the output is like I'm applying to my friend. Like I tell my friend like, did you guys know that in Korean bread is called pang, like that.
So can you put it in a situation of how input works? Just simply how do you put input in a situation, like an example?
Like how I applying input in situation. For my understanding, input is like we pick up a new language by hear or listening. So maybe when I'm reading a book, ma- I I'm not trying too hard by understand the grammar or the spell. For me it was yeah, I keep uh, hearing the Dyandra, guys, and I'm here to answer your question. Start from Huda. Yeah. Okay, Bang. Okay.
So I would like to ask about input. So the question, can you give me some of the factors that influence the input?
Uh, for me, the how the what is the influence of input?
Some factors.
All the factors. I think is first we have to interested in the language. I think so. For example, like listen to people talk, like like they hear like other language that we haven't know before, or read a book or watching a movies. I think that's all. Udah?
About last question, what about output? Because somehow our friends that being presenter this before mentioned that output is the way you get the language from the watching movie, or reading book, watching movie, or some
Yes.
a new language. What about that?
So,
Oh,
so
sorry.
can you summarize the question?
Can you explain about intake?
Okay. So, I give you the example. For example, like you are watching the Spanish TV and they keep saying "hola" every time. So, and then you understand that "hola" is mean hello, and then you notice the language, notice the word like "hola," and then you understand the word that "hola" means hello, and you acquire it by, for example, like you met a Spain person, yeah, and then you greet them like hola, yeah, okay. So input and intake is, for me, input is uh, input is when you are,
Learning a language.
yes, you are trying to pick up a new language, and then the next step is your intake. Like intake is like a part of input, like input that is used in grammar building.
Can you give me example?
Okay.
Example intake.
Intake. It's like,
Same. So
yeah, same. It's okay. It's okay.
output.
Output. What's wrong? For me, example of output, input. Output. Output is when we testing the language, like I said before, like we know the word like hola, so we applying to a person or we are talking to a friend. Guys, my name is Dyandra and I'm here to answer your question. Start from apa?
What is your understanding of the internet?
Okay. Based on my understanding, um, intake is like we are learn after we learning the input. So the intake is the part of input that you are really actually notice and understand. For example, we at first we are notice the language that we are learn, and then we understanding the language, and then we acquiring the language. For example, like when we are watching a Spanish TV, we listen to a new word like hola, and then we are understand it that, oh, hola, it means hello in English. So that's my understanding of intake. Helma, Jordan? Jordan? Apel? Helma? Jordan? Do you have any question?
Think output is really important.
Ah.
But do you think output is really important?
I think for me, output is important too in like when we are learning a new language, because in output we are speaking and writing the new language that we are learn. Yeah. Helma? Yes.
From these 3 points,
Yes.
what is the most vital in our understanding of the second language?
The most fatal. I think when Can you explain more about what is battle?
I mean, what is the most important in
Ah,
between it?
okay. For me is the input, the comprehensible input, because is the fundamental, I think, when we are want to learn a new language, because we are in input, we are listening and reading the language that we are want to learn. So yeah.
How about the in-text? If we don't have the knowledge of second language, then we can acquire that the input. So what I mean is, do you still prefer the input after what I said that about the in-text? I mean, if we don't have, if we don't know about our understanding of the second language, then we can absorb the input.
Sorry, Bang.